Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of English Over Tea, Listen and Speak. I'm your host, Anna, and sitting across from me, as always, is the person who, well, he still hasn't quite learned how to use a coaster for his mug. It's Dan.
Hey, watch it, Anima. I'm working on it. It's part of my relaxed charm, you know? But anyway, hi everyone, I'm Dan. I've got my green tea today. It's nice and hot, maybe a little too hot. Oops.
Don't burn yourself, Dan. We actually need you to be able to talk today. We have a great topic.
I'll try my best to keep my tongue in one piece. So what's on the menu today? Besides the tea, of course.
Today, we are talking about something very close to our hearts. We're talking about family.
Oh boy, family. That's a big one. It's like a huge part of life, right?
It really is. It's usually one of the very first things you learn when you start speaking English. But, even for beginners, it's also one of the most fun things to talk about. Because, well, let's be honest, everyone's family is a little bit, crazy.
You're not wrong there. My family is definitely unique. Actually, I was just thinking about my grandma this morning. She's 90 years old now, but she is still, without a doubt, the boss of the whole house.
90? Wow, that's amazing. Tell me a story about her, Dan. Our listeners love a good family story, especially the funny ones.
Okay, so my grandmother, we all call her Nana, she's obsessed with food. I mean, totally obsessed. Every single time I visit her, the first thing she says to me isn't hello or how are you? No. She looks at me and says, Dan, you look thin. Eat this. And then she hands me a giant plate of pasta or a huge sandwich.
That sounds like a typical grandma. She just wants to take care of you.
It gets better, though. Last Christmas, she completely forgot she had already given me a sandwich. So 5 minutes later, she walked back into the room with another sandwich. I told her, Nana, I'm full. I can't eat anymore. And she just looked at me, dead serious, and said, Dan, you're a growing boy. Anna, I'm 32 years old. I stopped growing a decade ago.
Oh, that is so sweet. She'll always see you as her little grandson. That's a great phrase, by the way. Growing boy. Listeners, we say this to children who need to eat a lot to get big and strong. But using it for a 30-year-old man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I definitely felt like I was 5 years old again. What about you, Anna? Are you the boss of your family, or is that someone else?
Oh, definitely not me. I have an older brother, Leo. He's 3 years older than me. And growing up, he was such a prankster. That's a person who likes to play jokes or tricks on people.
Oh, I know the type. I have a cousin just like that. What did he do?
Well, Leo used to do this one thing. It was so annoying. Every single Monday morning, he would hide one of my shoes. Just one. So I would spend 20 minutes running around the house crying, Mom, Leo stole my shoe. And he would just sit there at the table, eating his cereal, looking totally innocent.
That's classic brother behavior right there. Did you ever get him back?
Oh, eventually. When I was about 10, I hid his favorite football in the garden for a whole week. He was so upset. My mom eventually had to sit us both down and explain what siblings are.
Oh, that's a perfect word to explain for our beginners. Siblings.
Right. So siblings is just a more general or sometimes formal way to say brothers and sisters. If I ask you, do you have any siblings? I am asking if you have any brothers or any sisters. It's a very useful word because it's gender neutral. It works for boys and girls.
Exactly. I have 2 siblings, 1 brother and 1 sister. So I'm the middle child.
Ah, the middle child. People often say the middle child is the most relaxed or peaceful member of the family. Is that true for you, Dan?
Well, I like to think so. My older brother is very serious, and my younger sister is, she's definitely the baby of the family.
Oh, the baby of the family. That's another great phrase. Now, for our listeners, this doesn't mean she is an actual baby, right, Dan?
No, she's 25, but because she's the youngest person in our family, we still call her the baby. She usually gets whatever she wants. My parents are much nicer to her than they ever were to me.
That's usually how it goes. In my house, I was the youngest. The eldest or oldest was my brother, Leo, so I was the baby. And yes, I definitely got away with more things than Leo did.
I knew it. I could tell just by looking at you. You have that I'm the favorite look.
Hey, maybe a little bit. But talking about family isn't just about brothers and sisters. It's also about parents, your mother and father.
Right. And in English, we often use shorter, friendlier names like mom or dad. Or in some places, like the UK or Australia, you might hear mum or mummy.
Yes, it's very common to use those informal names. It sounds more natural and warm when you're talking to friends. For example, I might say, my dad is a teacher, or my mom loves gardening.
My dad he's retired now. That means he finished his career and stopped working. But he used to be a teacher too. He's a very quiet man, unlike my mom. My mom can talk to a wall for 3 hours and not get bored.
She sounds lovely. It's so interesting how families can be so different, right? Some families are very quiet, some are very loud, some are big, and some are small.
Totally. And that's what makes it so fun to learn how to describe them. You can really show your personality when you talk about your relatives. That's the word for all the people in your family.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about how to speak about family in English.
All right, Anna, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the words, the vocabulary. Because if I want to tell you about my crazy Nana, I need to know the right words to use, right?
Exactly, Dan. And for our listeners, the best way to start is with what we call the immediate family. That's a term we use for the people you live with or the relatives you are closest to, like your parents and your brothers or sisters. Some people also call this the nuclear family.
Like my parents?
Precisely, your parents. That is the collective word for your mother and your father together. It's always plural when talking about both of them, so don't forget the S at the end. And as we mentioned earlier, mother and father are a bit formal. In a normal conversation, you'll mostly hear people say mom and dad.
Right. Like I would say my parents live in a big house, or my dad is really quiet.
Perfect. Now let's talk about the other people who might live in your house, your siblings. We mentioned this word in before, but let's be very clear for everyone listening. Siblings is a gender-neutral word that means your brothers and sisters together.
So if you have a boy sibling, he's your brother, and if you have a girl sibling, she's your sister. It's pretty simple. I have a brother and a sister, so I have 2 siblings.
But what if it's just you? What if you have no brothers and no sisters?
Oh, then you are an only child. I always thought being an only child would be great because you don't have to share your toys or your sandwiches.
That's true, but you might get lonely. Now, Dan, let's talk about the older generation, the ones who give the best gifts.
Ah, the grandparents. That would be my grandmother, the woman, and my grandfather, the man. But again, those words are very formal. Most people say grandma and grandpa, or like I do, Nana and Gramps.
It's so sweet how every family has its own special names for them. For our beginners, if you say grandmother and grandfather, you will always be correct. But grandma and grandpa will make you sound much more natural.
Okay, so we have the house covered, but what about the people who don't live with us, my extended family? For example, my mom has a sister who talks, a lot. What do I call her?
That would be your aunt, A-U-N-T. Now, listeners, here's a funny thing about English. The pronunciation of this word changes depending on where you are. In some places, like the U.S., people say it just like the insect, an ant.
Wait, like the tiny little things that crawl on my picnic blanket?
Exactly. my Aunt Sarah. But in other places, like the UK, you might hear it pronounced as aunt. Both are correct.
I think I'll stay with aunt. It's easier for me to remember. Now, what about her husband or my dad's brother?
He is your uncle. My Uncle Bob, for example, is my father's brother. And when your aunt and uncle have children, what are those children to you?
Those are my cousins.
Yes, cousins. And here's a very important tip for our listeners. In many other languages, there's a different word for a male cousin and a female cousin. But in English, it's just cousin. It doesn't matter if they are a boy or a girl.
That is such a relief. I have about 15 cousins, so I'm glad I only have to remember one word. Let me see if I've got this straight. My parents and my siblings are my immediate family, and my grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins are my extended family.
You've got it. You're a natural, Dan.
I try, Anna. I really do. But wait, what if someone gets married, like my brother's wife? Is she my sister now?
Almost. We call those the in-laws. Since we're keeping it simple for beginners today, just remember this trick. Take the family word and add in-law to the end. So your brother's wife is your sister-in-law. Your mother-in-law is your wife's mother.
Ah, mother-in-law. It literally means mother by law because of the marriage. That actually makes a lot of sense. My mother-in-law is great. She actually likes my jokes.
Well, she's one of the few. Now, listeners, to use these words in a sentence, we usually use the verb to have. For example, I have 2 sisters, or she has a big family.
Right, and remember the grammar. I have, you have, but he or she has. Like my mom has 3 sisters, which means I have 3 aunts.
Exactly. It's like a family math problem. But once you know these basic names, mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, and cousin, you have the keys to talk about almost anyone in your life.
It really does build a picture of your world.
It does. Okay, Dan, I think we have the names down. Mother, father, sister, we're good. But how do we actually describe them? Like, if I want to tell you that my brother is, a bit of a grouch in the morning.
A grouch. That's a funny word. It means someone who is a little bit grumpy or in a bad mood. But for our beginners, let's start with the basics of describing your family.
Exactly. Keep it simple. The first thing people usually ask about is the size of your family. You can say, I have a big family, or I have a small family.
So for me, let's see. With all my cousins and my siblings, I definitely have a big family.
And I have a relatively small family. It's just me, my brother, and my parents. To get more detail, you can use this sentence. There are people in my family.
Oh, like there are 5 people in my family.
Perfect. There are 5 people in my family. It's a very common way to start a conversation.
Okay, there are 5 people in my family. But what about what they do? You said your brother is a prankster? Is that a job?
I wish. No, he's actually a chef. So when we talk about jobs or occupations, we use the verb to be.
So my brother is a chef.
Exactly. Or my mother is a teacher, or my father is an engineer. Just remember to use a or an before the job name.
Right. A for words starting with a consonant, like a doctor, and an for words starting with a vowel, like an artist.
You've got it. My mom, for example, she's retired now. That's a good word for our listeners. Retired. R-E-T-I-R-E-D. It means she finished her career and is now enjoying her free time.
My dad is retired too. He spends all his time in the garden now. He's very, what's the word? He doesn't talk much.
You could say he is quiet. Q-U-I-E-T.
Yes, he is very quiet. But my mom, like I said, she is very talkative.
That's a great word for personality. Talkative means someone who loves to talk a lot. Let's give our listeners a few more simple words to describe personality.
Okay, how about funny? My Uncle Bob thinks he's funny with his magic tricks. Funny means someone who makes you laugh.
Even if the tricks don't work, he's still funny for trying. So we have quiet, talkative, funny. What about someone who works very hard?
Oh, that's hardworking. Hardworking is a person who puts a lot of effort into their job or studies. My sister is very hardworking. She's a nurse, so she's always at the hospital.
That's a great one. And what about someone who is very nice to others?
Kind. My Nana is very kind. Even if she does force feed me sandwiches, she does it because she's kind. Kind means being friendly, generous, and thinking about other people's feelings.
Exactly. She is kind and generous. Generous means someone who likes to give things like money, help, or sandwiches to others.
Perfect. So, if I'm putting this together, I can say, my sister is a nurse. She is very hardworking and kind.
That is a perfect English sentence, Dan. You're describing her job and her personality.
It feels good to actually, say more than just, I have a sister. It makes her sound like a real person.
It does. And you can also use words like friendly, smart, or serious. For example, my brother is very smart, but he is also a bit serious. Smart means clever or intelligent, and serious means someone who is quiet and thinks deeply rather than being funny or playful.
My brother is definitely serious. He's an accountant. He loves numbers. I hate numbers.
Me too, Dan. Me too. That's why we're here talking instead of doing taxes.
Thank goodness for that. So, okay, we have size. There are 5 people. We have jobs. My mom is a teacher. And we have personality. She is very talkative.
You can also add a little bit about where they live, especially if your family is spread out, which means they live in different places. You can say, my cousin lives in New York, or my grandparents live near the beach.
Oh, that's easy. My aunt lives in Spain. She moved there last year. She's very happy there.
Happy, another great simple adjective.
This is actually, it's a lot easier than I thought. You just take the person, add is, and then add a word to describe them.
That's the secret. English doesn't have to be complicated. If you can say he is kind or she is a doctor, you are already speaking great beginner English.
What about, what if I want to say they are not something? Like my brother is not funny.
Poor brother. You just add not. He is not very funny, or my dad is not talkative.
My dad is not talkative. He is very quiet.
Exactly. You can even use the word but to connect two different ideas. My mom is talkative, but my dad is quiet.
Oh, I like that. It makes the sentence sound more natural.
Definitely. I have a big family, but we live in a small house.
That sounds like my childhood. 7 people, 1 bathroom. It was a challenge.
I can imagine. But those are the things that make family stories so interesting to tell.
They really are. I think I'm ready to start asking some questions now. I want to hear more about your brother, Leo.
I have plenty more stories about Leo. But first, let's look at how we ask these questions to other people. Okay, Dan, we've covered the names, we've covered the descriptions, but now comes the most important part for our listeners. We need to talk about asking the questions.
Right, because a conversation is, it's a two-way street. You can't just stand there and talk about your Aunt Sarah and her loud voice for 20 minutes without asking the other person about their family. Well, you could, but they might stop inviting you over for tea, and we definitely don't want that.
Exactly. In English-speaking cultures, talking about your family is actually a very standard topic for small talk. It helps you find common ground and build a good relationship with coworkers or new friends. So let's look at the most common question. It's very simple. How many people are in your family?
How many people are in your family? That's a good one. It's very direct.
It is. And remember, listeners, when someone asks you this, they are usually asking about your immediate family, the people you live with, like your parents and siblings.
So if someone asks me at a party, I'd say there are 5 of us in my family.
Perfect. Now, the next big question is, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Oh, or like we learned earlier, do you have any siblings?
Yes. Though, to be honest, Dan, in a very casual beginner conversation, people usually say brothers or sisters. It feels a little more friendly and warm. Siblings is great, and it's used a lot in formal writing or when you want to be gender neutral, but brothers or sisters is very common in speech.
Good to know. I think I prefer brothers or sisters anyway. It's easier to say when I've had too much tea.
Fair enough. Another common question is, what does your family member do? For example, what does your brother do?
Right, and we learned before that this actually means what is his job. So I would answer he is an accountant.
Exactly. So let's try a little role play, huh? I'll be the person meeting you for the first time at a neighborhood barbecue.
A barbecue, I love it. I'll imagine I have a burger in my hand. Okay, let's do it.
Hi, Dan. I'm Anna. It's so nice to meet you. So tell me, how many people are in your family?
Hi, Anna. Nice to meet you too. There are 5 of us in my family. It's my parents, my 2 sisters, and me.
Oh, that sounds like a busy house. Do you have any brothers?
No, I don't, but I have 2 sisters. One is older than me and one is younger. What about you, Anna? Do you have a big family?
Oh, it's a small family. There are just 4 of us, my parents, my brother Leo, and me.
Cool. What does your brother do?
He's a chef. He's very hardworking, but he's also a bit of a prankster.
See, that felt really natural. We used the questions, we used the jobs, and we used those personality words.
It was perfect. And for our listeners, if you don't have any brothers or sisters, remember that special phrase, I am an only child. It's a much more natural response than saying I have 0 siblings.
Definitely. Now, Anna, I have to ask, since you have a small family and I have a big one, which do you think is better?
Oh, that's a tough one. I liked having a small family because it was quiet. I had my own room. I didn't have to share my toys as much.
Lucky. I had to share everything, my clothes, my room, even my birthday sometimes, because my cousin's birthday was only 2 days after mine. We had about 30 people in our extended family, always running around.
Oh no, but you probably never got bored, right?
Never. There was always someone to play with or, someone to get into trouble with. That's the best part of a big family. It's like a built-in group of friends.
That is so true. In a small family, you're often very close to your parents, but in a big family, you have this huge support system.
Exactly. Even if they do drive you a little crazy sometimes or get on your nerves when they steal your snacks.
That's just part of the deal.
It really is. And some people even consider their pets to be family members too. I have a friend who says his dog is like his younger brother.
Oh, I totally agree. Many people feel that way.
Well, I think we've given everyone a lot to think about today. I feel like I could talk about my family for hours now, but I should probably go check if Nana is making more sandwiches.
Good idea, Dan. Don't want to let those sandwiches go to waste. Wow, Dan, we have really covered a lot of ground today. My tea is actually, it's cold now.
That's what happens when you're having too much fun talking about family. But seriously, let's do a quick recap so our listeners can really remember everything we talked about. It's a lot to take in at once.
You're right. Repetition is the secret to learning. So let's start with the basics. Your immediate family or nuclear family are the people you are closest to. That's your mother and father, also known as mom and dad.
And don't forget the parents' collective term. Then there are your siblings. We learned that siblings is a great gender-neutral word, but in casual speech, people usually just say brothers and sisters.
Exactly. And if you don't have any, you're an only child. Then we moved out to the extended family. We've got grandparents, your grandma and grandpa, then your parents' siblings, your aunt and your uncle.
And their kids are your cousins. I still think it's the best thing ever that an English cousin is the same for a boy or a girl. It saves so much brain power.
It really does. We also talked about describing our family. Remember, for jobs, we use to be plus a or an, like he's a doctor or she's an engineer.
And for personality, we used some great adjectives like kind, funny, quiet, talkative, and hardworking. You can even add very to make it stronger, like my Nana is very generous with her sandwiches.
She certainly is. Before we finish, I want to share one or two fun idioms we mentioned. One of my favorites is the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This means a child is very similar to their parent. For example, if your dad is a great cook and you are also a great cook, people might say that to you.
I love that one. Another good one is being the spitting image of someone. That's when you look exactly like a relative. People always tell me I'm the spitting image of my dad, except for the hair. He still has some.
Oh, Dan. Well, listeners, now it's your turn. We want to encourage you to practice what you learned today. Don't worry about being perfect.
Yeah, seriously. Even just saying one or two sentences out loud helps. Try this. After the show, find a mirror or even just talk to your pet and describe your family for 1 minute. Say how many people there are, what they do, and what they're like.
Or you can do a family tree project. Draw a little tree and label everyone: mother, father, sister, brother. It's a great visual way to remember the words.
And if you want to practice your writing, leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. Tell us how many people are in your family. We love reading about your lives, and it's a safe place to practice your English.
It really is. We are so proud of you for taking the time to learn with us today. Every small step you take makes your English stronger.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect. Or at least practice makes you better than you were yesterday. So keep speaking, keep listening, and keep enjoying your tea.
If you liked this episode, please hit that like button and subscribe to English Over Tea, Listen and Speak. It really helps our channel grow so we can keep making these lessons for you.
And don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss a chat with us. It's been a pleasure, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.